Are you home right now, Lisa?
Yes, I am.
Okay, I'm heading home right now.
What? Already?
I can already see the house. I'll be there immediately.
Now's not a really good time. I've got an all-night meeting coming up.
It's fine. Just do your work. I'll just come and leave without bothering you. Just leave the door unlocked, will you?
The door's already unlocked. What are you going to be doing here?
What? Isn't it obvious? I'm just coming to give you some food I cooked.
Mrs. Johnson, I appreciate the gesture, but I don't really need the food. We've already got a lot of food to eat at our house.
But I'm sure my son wants to eat his mother's food once in a while. I made a lot just so I could give you some.
You do know that I'm a food researcher, right? I make all kinds of food every day. I always serve my family the best food. So we really do have enough to eat, Mrs. Johnson.
Quit bragging. You say you're a food researcher, but you basically just do housework, right? It's not much more than being a housewife.
Actually, no. I pity my son and grandchildren for having to eat the things you make for this hobby of yours. Put yourself in their shoes for once, won't you? I don't make food as a hobby. The recipes I make have been well thought out, and I'm proud to release them to the public. It's not like I force them to eat the failures I make as well. I have confidence in every aspect of my cooking. Taste, nutrition, and looks.
Well, they do look good, I guess. But there's no way that they're healthier than old-fashioned food that I make. It's food that my son has been eating since he was born, after all. Nothing tastes better than the mother's cooking.
I get it. Leave your food at our house if you wish. We'll eat it gratefully.
You should have said that at the start. You really are a strange wife.
But please don't take any food from our house, alright? You always take food to eat for dinner, don't you?
I already took some.
What? You already got here?
The food I brought is in the fridge. I took some food in return.
You didn't take the salted pork, did you?
You mean the big slab of pork? It looked like it was about to rot, so I brought it home.
I had it prepared from the day before, and we were planning on eating it tonight. It's my son's favorite, so please bring it back.
But I'm already on my way home. If you didn't want me to take it, then you should have written a note saying so. How confusing.
But didn't you just suddenly barge in?
What do you mean, barge in? I brought some food because I was worried about my son's health.
I'm grateful for the food you gave, but please don't take food from us. My son and husband always look forward to the food I make. They even ask me what's for dinner every evening.
You're saying that your food, which only looks good, is better than my cooking? Don't be ridiculous. Is it fun making fun of others' goodwill?
Mrs. Johnson, I'm going to tell you this straight. What you're doing is a nuisance. Please don't bring any of your food anymore.
What? You've got some nerve saying such things. Such a rude wife. Ungrateful, too. Remember this. I brought some meat and potatoes today.
What? You came over to our house today?
You're so careless leaving your son alone in the house.
It's fine, it's just for a short while. He's already in elementary school after all.
Your son was there, so I went in and left some food.
Didn't I tell you that it was fine if you didn't bring any more food?
Today's the last day. You tell me that my food is unwanted even when I'm bringing it out of goodwill. To be honest, you hurt my feelings, so I won't be bringing any more food.
It's fine if all you do is bring food. But I don't understand why you always have to insult my work and take home the food my family's been looking forward to.
Insult? But I've only been saying the truth. You say you're a food researcher, but that's basically just a housewife that only cooks, right?
I don't really think insulting a job like that is a good idea. If you say things like that in public, people are going to call you out.
Stop scolding me. You're just my son's wife, right?
Why not just stop doing things that will get you scolded? Oh, and about the meat and potatoes, you do know that my son and husband can't eat it, right?
Really?
There's no way you didn't know this. Oh, and I'm currently on a diet, so I won't be able to eat it either.
Don't waste the food I brought. Eat it, will you? I made a lot.
A lot?
Enjoy the flavor, okay? Someone whose job revolves around food won't just throw it out, right?
Fine, I'll eat it.
Oh, and I brought some of the soup you made with me, alright?
Again?
I'll stop bringing you food since you hate it so much. But I'll come and take some food every now and then, alright? I need to check if the food you're giving to your family is safe to eat.
What do you mean, check?
I'd hate if my son or grandson fell ill because of your cooking, you see. Take care of the meat and potatoes, okay? It's sure to be better than the food you make.
Lisa, just what are you thinking?
Andy, what's the matter?
My mother collapsed because of the food you made. What did you give her? You must have put some sort of poison in there, didn't you?
Poison?
It's the curry you made! She collapsed right after eating the curry you made. Her mouth was foaming. She hit her head and had to get stitches.
I'm pretty sure she's the one who made that.
Mother said that she was pushed by you.
So, that's how it is. Andy, that's a lie she must have told you.
A lie?
I'll show you my smartphone. So take a look at the conversations your mother and I have been having. I've never given her any of my food willingly. She always just takes the food from our fridge.
Why would she do such a thing?
She always insults my cooking. Maybe she thought just taking our food was wrong. So she always left some of her food, which we didn't ask for as well. I told her to stop, but she wouldn't.
Is this true?
Ask my husband if you want. The food he wants to eat is always taken, and in return, he's always given food he doesn't want. He's pretty unsatisfied with the whole situation as well. Now she just takes our food without giving anything, though.
But you said Mother was the one who made the curry, right?
2 days ago, Mrs. Johnson brought some meat and potatoes. But my son and husband hate it, and I'm on a diet. So my husband turned the meat and potatoes into curry so that they could eat it.
You're saying that's what Mother ate?
She must have snuck in and stole it again without knowing that it was something she made in the first place.
You guys didn't eat it?
I had a small taste, but I was fine. But it must be the curry's fault that my stomach feels strange. I'm glad I noticed before my son and husband ate it. I wonder what was in those meat and potatoes.
Did Mother know that you were the only one who could eat the meat and potatoes? I wonder if this means that she put something in it to make you sick.
That must be the case. We've had arguments over my cooking previously. This must have been her trying to get revenge.
I'm sorry. I'm ashamed of my own mother.
How is she?
She hit her head and was unconscious for a while, but she's regained consciousness and has been insulting you ever since.
Her attitude towards me has been terrible since a while back. She always insults my work. I don't know what she put in those meat and potatoes, but this is a crime, right?
Yes, it is. Quite a heavy one as well.
Why don't we meet and talk things over, Andy? I'll show you how my mother has been treating me.
Ugh, my head hurts. The doctor said that there may be after effects. That Lisa is such a bitch. I'll have George divorce her as soon as I leave the hospital.
What are you talking about, Mother? Isn't it your own fault you collapsed?
What are you talking about? It's because that bitch of a wife put some sort of poison in the curry I ate. It's her fault that...
But aren't you the one who made it? You still haven't noticed? The curry you ate was originally the meat and potatoes you gave her.
What? The meat and potatoes? You forced her to take it, right?
No one would eat it, so they turned into curry, she said. The one you stole and ate.
That was... I guess it did kind of smell like meat and potatoes.
It's so lucky that you were the one who ate it and not them. I'm glad only you were the one who got hurt.
What do you mean by that?
You know what you did was a crime, right? What if Lisa was the one who got hospitalized? Just imagining it makes me shiver.
What is it with you? Quit over-exaggerating.
But didn't you just collapse and hit your head? If it was Lisa and not you, then you truly would be the criminal.
What do you mean, criminal?
I don't know about these after effects of yours, but I know that I won't be helping you all right. I'm not even going to visit you in the hospital anymore.
You plan on leaving your mother?
Yes. Goodbye.
This is Lisa. It seems you ate the curry and collapsed, and that there was foam coming out of your mouth. Just what did you put in those meat and potatoes?
You bitch. Why'd you turn the meat and potatoes into curry?
Because no one would eat it. My husband and son would eat it as long as it tasted different.
You really are bothersome.
Well, I did leave it as it was for one day, but neither my son or husband would eat it. I thought that reusing the ingredients would be better than just throwing it away. I'm so glad you stole it before anyone else could eat it.
So you didn't even eat a bit of what someone gave you as a gift?
I had a little as a taste test. My stomach felt strange after that, though. I'm thinking of going to the doctor if it gets worse.
Why didn't you eat it? I told you to eat it, all right?
And didn't I tell you that I couldn't? Did you hear a word I said?
Right? Shut up. You've insulted me again. You better get ready for when I get out of the hospital.
Shouldn't you be worrying about yourself more? It seems that Andy won't be talking to you anymore. My family plans on doing the same. I told George about what happened, and it seems he was quite disappointed in you.
What? Even George?
Anyway, Mrs. Johnson, is what you're saying about the after effects true?
Yes. The doctor said something about how there might be abnormalities in the brain. He said that there might be numbness in the feet and hands, and even memory loss later on. And you're saying that you all are going to leave me?
Yes. You no longer have any family to support you, so good luck on your own.
You wretch!
Do you still plan on taking that attitude towards me? Why don't you take a moment and think about the situation you're in? As long as I don't forgive you, there's no way your family will either.
You're telling me to apologize.
Nothing good will come if you keep taking that attitude. You'll probably never see your children ever again. Oh wait, I guess that's already guaranteed.
Don't steal my children from me.
There's something I want to ask you. Just what did you put in those meat and potatoes?
That was pesticide, but I only put a little.
But you collapsed and foamed from your mouth, so it must have been pretty strong. Anyone knows that pesticide is toxic. It would have been really bad if a child had eaten it. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I can't forgive you.
But you're the one who started it by refusing my cooking.
In my opinion, cooking is something that's supposed to make people happy. It's the central idea of my work. You have no right to go around giving people that food of yours. Please live the rest of your life alone, so that no one will have to eat your cooking ever again. After that, it seems that Mrs. Johnson was quite troubled by the after effects of hitting her head. Decline in language ability, numbness of the hands and feet, insomnia, and decline of vision were just some of the symptoms. It seems that she has to undergo rehabilitation. She had no family to support her, and it seems she really had to do it all by herself. But she must have lost the will, and eventually stopped going to the hospital and now just stays in her house. I sometimes meet Andy, and we get along for the most part. She's apologized to me for what her mother did, but it's not her fault. As someone whose job revolves around cooking, I can't forgive what Mrs. Johnson did. What she did was a straight crime. I, on the other hand, will continue to make food that makes people happy.